Colter, we know that in Montana there's a lot of hunters, a lot of gun enthusiasts, so you might as well shop local when you're looking for your next firearm or accessory, huh?
Selway Armory, they got the best prices around and the best service you'll find anywhere. As the guys over there will tell you, shop with Selway Armory for a year. We guarantee you'll save some money.
The other thing is they have great knowledge. There's a lot of questions that people have about the right styles and types to suit them and what it is that they're trying to do, and all the guys over at Selway Armory know their firearms and ammunition and accessories inside and out.
With locations in both Missoula and Bozeman, Selway Armory has some specialty products as well, including full Sig Sauer inventory for your best in handguns and much, much more.
Like Colter said, 2 brick-and-mortar locations, one in Missoula, one in Bozeman, and also online, tremendous inventory there. They'll ship everything you want, selwayarmory.com.
Coach got that interception in the third quarter, drove it right down there. That looked like he had some momentum there, just couldn't quite get it in.
Yeah, that was kind of the tail of the tape. I mean, compliments to Sacramento State. I feel like they beat us on both sides of the line of scrimmage, something that, we've clearly hung our hat on around here. And our inability to win those short yardage situations was a big factor in the game. And like I said, I think a very good football team today. They executed at a high level. We did not in really any phase, in my opinion, up to our capability.
Tough time getting them off the field on third down.
Yeah, no question. I think that was a huge issue in the game. We got them off schedule a couple of times, and they were a step ahead of us, quite honestly. Every time we played man, they had a little pick route to get a guy open, and every time we played zone, they had the right call. And so you got to compliment them. And I think there were some things that we left out there, certainly, but we were beat by a better team today. There's no question about that. I don't think that's not the issue.
Okay.
Guys, go ahead, Coach.
Why do you think it was kind of difficult to get a pass rush established today?
Well, they do a great job getting the ball out fast, and a lot of their stuff is RPO. And so that was one of the things they executed at a really high level. Every time we went into a dime package, those guys just start sneak down thinking they had to defend the run, and he did a nice job of riding the RPO, and he was very accurate when he threw the ball. When we blitzed, it was mostly run down pressure to try to get them off schedule, and really they don't give up a lot of sacks anyway. That's something, because they do get the ball out so quickly. It's a little bit of an exercise in futility, sometimes bringing a lot of pressure against this group.
Played the run pretty well in the first half. In the second half, they got a little bit of the QB run going.
Yeah.
Did you want the ball in his hands?
Well, I think they did a nice job of that. The QB run into the boundary was something that was giving us some problems, and there were some formational things that they did to us, and some things in terms of alignment that we needed to clean up. And we actually had a couple pressures called into it and didn't execute them a couple times. And so that's just something we've got to do better as coaches, is making sure that we have answers for that. It's funny because that's now our resume, so we're going to see those things again.
Why do you think their quarterback just overall was just so effective?
I think he's a really good player. He's played a lot of football. He's a mature guy, veteran guy. I think the scheme fits him very well because he's a capable runner and an accurate passer, and they have a lot of weapons. I think that, as I told you guys all week, this is a really good football team. And as I said, compliments to Sacramento State. I think that they outplayed us in all 3 phases today, and that would include quarterback play. And so, we've got some work to do.
Dotson, number 33, what kind of problems did he present out there?
I think there was a lot of matchup things that we had issues with as I said, when we were playing man-to-man. They did a great job of knowing that we were in man, and we had a linebacker that was covering him, and he's a fast guy, and he's a really good football player. And so they got him into some scheme matchups that were advantageous for them.
Seems like they ran so many different concepts on offense. Was there anything new that you didn't see, or was it just the execution?
The wide delay that they scored the touchdown on, we hadn't seen that. But other than that, a lot of and the Q run into the boundary, that was something they'd shown a little bit of it. They hadn't really majored in it, and so that was probably those 2 wrinkles were things that maybe we hadn't seen a ton on film.
What do you think is just going to be kind of your focus going into the bye week?
Improve. I think that's always, it's got to be a state of constant improvement. I think that. We've worked out a way to win the last couple weeks, and we got behind in this game and got exposed a little bit, and that's something that I think we've known that we can't spot teams' points, and win games. And maybe this is the wake-up call we needed. I think there were some things to build on. I thought Tucker operated our 2-minute stuff late in the game. That's some stuff to build on there. But that might be the only bright spot, to be honest with you. I mean, we did not play well today, and that's my responsibility as a head coach, and we'll definitely improve that. Unfortunately, we got to live with it for 2 weeks now. And so we've got an opportunity to go back to the drawing board and figure out what works for us and execute at a higher level the next opportunity we get to compete.
Is there anything else in game planning that you wish you had done different?
I think there's always going to be things that you like and don't like when you come out, or whether you're successful or not. And clearly there were some things today that we probably should have emphasized less and or more, but that's always going to be the case.
Third down, it seemed like you guys got in some third and longs with the offense where it currently is right now. What's challenging about those third and longs, and how do you hope to improve those?
Well, what was challenging was their pass rush. And, like I said, these guys have really good talent, and they get after the quarterback. And so anytime you're behind the sticks against this group, you're gonna have some of those issues. And even when we were in max protection, we weren't able to hold up, and that was something that was problematic. But, anytime you're behind the sticks and in our style of offense, that's not going to be good for you.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Kevin, obviously, offense, not the kind of result you were looking for today. Just from your perspective, what maybe didn't go right as much as you wish it had?
Yeah, it's frustrating. That's a good Sacramento State team, and looking at the bright spots, I think we were able to move the ball well, but just in that red zone situations and whatnot, not being able to punch it in. I think that's something that we'll be disappointed in. But yeah, we were able to move the ball at times, and obviously other times we weren't. But trying to see the light and kind of the darkness that was created today. But a lot of things to improve on. I think, like Coach said, it's a good wake-up call, and it's gonna not be fun not being able to play a game this week. Coming up next week, so we'll live with it, and we'll bounce back.
What do you attribute the red zone struggles to?
I think we have a good run game, and they had a good D line, and like Coach said, they just outplayed us. It happens sometimes, and I'm sure there's going to be some things on film that we'll look back on and wish we would have done differently, or wish just execute a little better. But yeah, it's a good Sacramento State team, especially up front, and they gave it to us today.
Schematically, did they execute like you thought they would? Did they run the same stuff you guys had planned for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did a really good job of that we noticed during the week of disguising coverages and whatnot, showing almost like showing a too high look and then rolling over to a one high safety pretty late. They did that on that first interception that we did, and I know Tucker got pressure and whatnot, but that's just and it got tipped and he got hit. But that's just a good team, and schematically they created some issues from us, and just good stuff for us to learn from.
That's the first time an opponent has been able to sustain a pass rush, through a game against you guys in a while. So how does that throw things off once the ball is snapped and you're trying to, complete a play? Yeah,
I don't know. It's tough because from my perspective, sometimes it's a little difficult to see what happens there and whatnot. And we have good guys up front, and they did some really good things today. And I'm sure they'll be frustrated with some things that they could have done differently or whatnot. But yeah, those guys were pretty good up front, and it's good to play those guys because you want to be challenged and whatnot. And like you said, maybe being exposed was a good thing for us at this point in the season.
Specifically, how much tougher does it make it in the run game when the O-line maybe isn't getting as much push as it normally does?
Yeah, and that's tough I don't know, it's tough for me to say because it's tough to see from my perspective. But yeah, I mean, physical linebackers, good D-line, and it's tough. And I think we'll try to open up a little bit more to make it easier on those guys, because it's not easy when they're sending the house and to hold that up because they'll have an extra guy. But yeah, we'll get those things fixed, and there's some bright spots, and we'll build on those and correct the things that we did wrong.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Let's go, Bryce.
The way that Thompson was able to get rid of the ball quickly like that, is it frustrating not being able to get home and get to the quarterback?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's more frustrating when he completes those passes because we knew he'd get the ball out quickly. We knew they didn't give up a lot of sacks, so not feeling like you're not a factor in that situation is definitely hard to handle. But he did a good job of picking apart our defense, so I guess hats off to him on that.
Just in terms of scheme, how would you describe what makes their offense so difficult to go against?
They're just, well, the quick pass definitely is, it's hard to get a pass rush there, so you can't really affect the quarterback, and he's most of their offense because he'd do quick passes and then he'd do Q run, and it'd all kind of be based off the run too, so off of 33. So I think, there's nothing really specific or different that they did. It's just they do the stuff they do well.
You guys were able to smother the run in the first half. What was going well in that aspect?
I think we played really good then, and then I don't know what happened or what fell apart. I have to look back at the film and see where they started gashing us, but I think they just they kept playing hard, and we kind of had a slump.
Why do you think maybe they were just so successful on some of those third downs?
They would, I think, well, from what I saw, is they'd throw a seam route or something where we weren't covered because we'd be in the wrong defense, and I think they were just, like Coach Choate said, they're just one step ahead of us schematically.
There are 2 scoring drives in the third quarter with 10 and 11 plays. When they're kind of laying on you guys like that, how hard is it for defense to not break in those situations?
It's really hard because I'm pretty sure on those 2 drives we got them to 3rd and 4th downs as well. So, it's really frustrating. And that goes back to the quick passes not being able to affect the quarterback. And, there's some times where they run away. I'm talking about me specifically. They'd run away, so I felt like I couldn't do much there. It's just it is hard not to break down, and I think we did a little bit.
Obviously a difficult game to go into your open week, but what's your biggest takeaway from the first half of the season for you guys?
We just can't spot team points. Like we did that against the last 3 the entire conference games that we played. We've given teams opportunities that we shouldn't give, that when we kind of shot ourselves in the foot there. Same with Western Illinois. It was kind of a sloppy game. I think we just need to realize that we need to start fast and not have those blunders.
All right, thank you, Bryce.
Thank you. Yep.
They run so many of those flood concepts. As a guy, when you're watching it play out in front of you, how difficult is all that to
It's tough. It's tough, especially when they have a quarterback that can run, because you have to honor his ability to run for the first time, which he did several times. But it's tough because I feel like we were near the right spots a lot of times, and he was just able to get the ball where he needed to be, and we were just a step or 2 out of place. And it's a little demoralizing as they march down those 3rd downs, but he just had to carry for the next play.
How tough was it when he was able to pinpoint some of those passes as well as he did as well?
It's tough. My hat goes out to him. He really made plays. He threw the ball where he needed to be. Even when guys recovered, he threw them open. And of course, it's tough being the deep safety watching. Get picked apart. It's tough to see, especially when we do so well on 1st and 2nd down. Get them off schedule. Get them in 3rd and 8 pluses when we know they're going to pass, and then he just picks us apart.
You guys have been such a second half team, and you get the touchdown, just at the end of the second quarter to cut it to a 7-point game. So the mood must have been pretty good in the locker room at halftime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I know Coach does us. We don't flinch. We try not to flinch. We pride ourselves on being a second half team, even though I don't know if that's what we want to be, but that's just kind of who we are. The thing about this team is, we're down 21 against NAU. We're not hanging our heads. We know we believe in ourselves, and that's the attitude. If we're ever down or up, we believe in ourselves and each other.
Choate said coming in this week that was the best FCS team you guys have faced. Now that you've played them, do you agree?
100%, yeah.
All right, thank you, JoJo.
Thanks, JoJo.
Selway Armory, Montana's firearms superstore, is now open for business and hiring all positions. If you want an exciting job with great compensation and one where you can become an expert in the field, put your application in now at Selway Armory. You can apply in person at their new location at the corner of Jackrabbit and Baxter, or send in your application via email to employment@selwayarmory.com. That's employment@selwayarmory.com. Turn your passion into a profession with Selway Armory, Montana's firearms superstore.